So here you see me assessing my locks to see if vertical or horizontal combining is even feasible. I mentioned in part 1 that the decision to combine locks should not be taken lightly. So I took my time examining my rows, and what I discovered was that my rows and spacing were not all conducive to combining for several reasons. So I decided to focus on the top toupee area, since those locks were the ones that were the tiniest, and I carefully did a few test twists of some of those locks to see how the combining would actually look. And from there, I went ahead and got started. As you can see, I used my patent pending DAP tool to work my magic, carefully retightening selected locks together. Now, because I had discovered that my rows weren't exactly symmetrical on both sides, and plus I had already previously combined a couple of areas along my hairline, I chose to leave some of those locks as singles in a couple of places. I'm not really one of those people who's obsessed with my grid. I just prefer a neat finish. So if combining would have created too much of a glaring visual difference between the locks, then I would have left it alone. So I do have some singles mingled in with those that have been married. It really wasn't that deep. I'm not going to instant lock any of these together or twist them. I'm just going to let the two headers grow out for a few months and then go from there and see how I want to handle it from there. When people see that I self-retighten on a regular basis, or they hear it, I should say, they always ask me, "Don't your arms get tired?" And my answer is a resounding hell yeah, I get tired. I just try to take my time and I rest my arms when I need to. When I'm actually loving on my own hair, it really is not a race. It's not about speed. I'm trying to give myself the same care and attention that I actually give to my clients. So I do what I can when I can. And yes, I actually do all of this by feel. You see me looking in the camera just to make sure I'm centered and visible to you all. But typically I'm sitting on my sofa, reclined, binge watching some type of show, and just working my way, making my way downtown, working on my hair. That includes the back and the sides. So yep, I do it all by feel. So here you can see that I'm all finished, and I will note that I hate center parts, but when combining locks, I had to go through and utilize this center part for this entire process. It is a very pronounced center part right now, and so you can probably notice that it looks very pronounced, and it also may look like my locks are slightly lifted a bit. And this is 100% intentional. And I did this by a deliberate choice in the direction that I chose to retighten my locks. I just don't like flat hair. But in here, you can see that I'm just going through showing you that my parts are still nice and neat, even where I noted some imperfections in, symmetry. Because at the end of the day, who's really going to be paying attention this close to my hair other than me or someone that I would allow to retighten my hair? If someone's close enough to really be paying attention to little slight imperfections, there's probably a bigger problem there. So I'm just going through and showing you that, yeah, your girl went through and gathered all that new growth in there. My hair is very deceptive. After retightening, you can see the parts. Look at that back. Look at that back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But typically when you look at my hair, you really can't see the parting very easily. And in this instance, I had it flipped a little bit, so it just adds a little bit more lift. But again, even if I just wore it all straight back, you would still see that I've got plenty of volume there. But y'all, my hair is very deceptive. It's thick. Those roots are they will fight you. And if my mom tells the story, she will let you know she does not like to retighten my hair. So what you see here is me gathering, you know, the toupee area, the top toupee area that I went to work on with the combining, and I'm happy with it. I like it. I'm anxious to see how it grows out and what it's going to look like. I'll style it at some point and come on here and floss a little bit, but right now your girl was tired and I just need to show y'all this is what I was able to do. So this is the beginning stages of me converting my Sisterlocks to Microlocks. Thanks for watching. Hey, what's up, good people? Goldie here, coming on with this real talk PSA moment. Okay, real quick. I would not recommend going through and trying to combine your own locks. I'm going to tell you straight up, knowing what I know, just what I went through just in this toupee area, there is no way that I would recommend that someone who's just, you know, dabbling and messing with their own locks, that they would do something like this. Like I said, this is not a decision that you want to take lightly. And the bottom line is, it's a lot of work and there's a huge margin for error. And if you do not know what you're doing and you don't know how to keep yourself from making some of those common mistakes when working in your own hair, I just would advise you go to a professional, someone that can actually look at the whole picture. They can see where your rolls are looking, you know, good and where they're not so good, and where you will have good opportunities to combine locks versus leaving them alone. I'm telling you, I just wouldn't recommend that. Now, at the end of the day, we're all grown, right? So you can do whatever it is you choose to do. But my professional opinion and recommendation is that you go to a professional if you're seriously considering getting your hair, getting your locks combined. Now, I'm just the messenger, okay? But I did this to document my personal journey because I have my specific reasons for why I chose to do this. But more importantly, I also wanted to demystify the process. I will be real honest, because that's all I know how to be. Sisterlocks wearers tend to get their panties in a bunch when it comes to combining locks. I don't really know where the negative connotation came from, the term. I just don't know where the stigma came from. I just don't. But sometimes, you know, Sisterlocks wearers can be very anal and retentive about things because they've been basically conditioned, you know, to the rule following, right? And I'm telling you that yes, there are times where sometimes you need to combine your damn locks. Like people just need to get over it. It is not something that you want to just be doing because, oh, I saw this on here and I saw this girl named Goldie and no, that's not what this is about. But what I want people to understand is that sometimes when life is happening, all those things I talked about in part 1 of my series here, sometimes your hair needs that. In order to prolong the health of your locks, sometimes you do need to combine. And it's not the end of the world. Your hair will be fine if the timing is right, if the process is right, and the skill level is right of the practitioner that's doing it, okay? You can have your locks combined and don't miss a beat, okay? But some people are just so intimidated by the idea that, oh, I don't want to combine in my grid. And listen, are you more concerned with this part showing, or are you concerned with this plug because this lock is gone now? There's a timing factor that needs to be considered when you're going to combine your locks. And the time to combine your locks is not when you have a lock that's hanging on by 3 strands of hair. It's too late. It's kind of like if you read this message, it's too late. That's not the time to start combining. Ain't nothing to combine, right? So you really have to get the hair right at that point where it can still rebound if it's brought together with a sturdier lock. But waiting too late, you might as well just go ahead and cut those 3 strands and let that lock go. And wait and hope that the hair will grow back healthy, which likely it won't. Let it grow back healthy, and then you have to look at waiting for it to grow out, or you're going to be trying to do an extension for the lock that came out. So my feeling and my practice with my clients is that if they really need combining, I try to catch it at the right time. And I'm not getting into all of that because that's what my experience and my training is about, understanding when things need to happen with the locks, which is why I say trust a professional to do that, because this is detailed, intricate work. And if it's messed up, it's really hard to come back from messing up when you've been trying to combine. So let a professional take care of that. Now, the piece about, the stress point, I want to go back to the COVID lockdowns and bring that to your attention. Many of us went 16 weeks, 20, some people 25 weeks, with the lockdowns before they were able to get a retightening. A lot of people had to have their locks combined. And I hate to burst some of y'all's bubble, but some of y'all don't have Sisterlocks no more. Okay, because some of you had to have your locks combined in a manner that goes against the specified grid that we follow when we're establishing Sisterlocks. But some of y'all may not know that. Okay, now I'm not trying to stress anybody out, but I'm just saying, look, some of y'all need to relax a little bit. If your practitioner tells you you need your locks combined because, and they have all these reasons and they're explaining to you and you're noticing that there's things going on with your hair, ligmo, let it go and move on. Combine them joints and move on. Your hair will be better for it. Okay, so again, this is just my professional opinion in the work that I did just in this little toupee area. I was tired. Okay, so to do a whole head of combining, yep, I could do it, but I didn't have to because I really found that this is the area that I needed to work on. And it was really only a few. I probably did more than I needed to, but I wanted it to be a nice even section. But I'm just a messenger in giving you my professional opinion. And I've always tried to shoot from the hip, straight from the hip when it's come to talking to clients and other practitioners about my practice and how I get down with my clients. So I will be sharing my journey. I'm happy to share my journey, the ups and downs. Right now, I ain't did nothing to my hair. It's been almost 2 weeks. And y'all see them things are filling out already, but they still crispy. But they're getting full again. But it's going to be fine. I have no concerns about how this is going to look once they go. Look at that. They're already them filled in. Okay. So it is a process not to be taken lightly. Okay. So I appreciate you all rocking with me. I hope you follow along. I'll try to do good about, posting updates here and there and styling my hair. But right now I'm really pleased with it and I think it's going to be a good run. So till next time, y'all take care. Check y'all later.